Welcome back to Balls Deep, episode 8. We're joined again by Mairon Santos. Before he was just on The Ultimate Fighter, now he is The Ultimate Fighter, season 32 winner. Congratulations, Mairon. You did it. You're here finally. How does it feel?
It feels good. That's my place. UFC is my house, but it feels good.
I bet. I mean, you announced on the show that your wife was pregnant. You know, I'm sure that's made it even better that you finally won for your family. How did that feel?
Yeah, man. Because before I used to say that I'm fighting for my family, but now I'm really fighting for my family, and that was just extra motivation for me. Um, I was like, sometimes you go into a fight and you think that's gonna be a war and may the best man win. But for this fight, it was like, bro, I can't lose. Like, I can't. I just, my only option is to win. So that was my mindset. And now I'm fighting for my family. So that's a good push for me. And that was the result.
Well, congratulations for the 100th time. I'm sure you've heard it for the last half a week. I mean, everyone's probably saying congrats. You said you were watching it over and over again, the win. Does it still feel real to you?
Yeah. I watched it like 2,000 times or maybe more, and now it feels real. Like when I watch it, I now I think, oh, that's really me. That was me fighting. So now I think I finally believe it.
That's so exciting, Matt, and I'm very excited to see what's next for you. And what a fight, honestly. Like, it was a war. I was really like, that guy, Con Offley, was probably the second best or top guy on the show. I feel like he was a pretty elite. He is a pretty elite fighter, and you really found a way to like your striking is so good. You know, you really find distance and find a way to catch his chin. I'm surprised he didn't get a bonus.
Bro, I really don't know why. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know if the guys, the Shelby, the UFC guys, if they were watching it because I deserve the bonus, but it's okay. Next time, I'll try to get the bonus.
And the contract bonus. I mean, I don't want to ask how much you're making, but you think it's like a fair amount that you win the Ultimate Fighter and that's the extra paycheck on the contract? Do you like the amount?
Yeah, I mean, I've never had money in my life, so right now I'm happy. And with my contract, I'm happy too because it's not like when you sign with the Contender Series or short notice. It's a little bit better, so I'm happy with that.
How many fights is on the contract?
6,
Wow, that's a pretty big deal.
yeah, that's a big deal. And I hope I can resign before my 6 fights. Maybe
Yeah,
I'll
that's the
do
goal.
3. Hopefully, I'm gonna win, and then they want to sign me again.
As the Ultimate Fighter, like, do you kind of get a push ahead? Like, obviously the goal is to get to the rankings before you can get to the belt. You want to get ranked. Like, I don't think you'll get a ranked fighter first, but do you think in 2 to 3 fights you'll be there?
I haven't thought this far, and I don't want to think about that right now. I just want to go slow and enjoy the process, and I want to win my fight. I don't want to talk about, oh, I'm going to win. No, I know that I have to win, and also I know that when I'm going in there, it's 50-50. So we never know what can happen. I don't want to lose, but I just want to go one step at a time. And yeah, but hopefully by the end of the next year, I'll be in the rankings. That's my plan.
Great. You didn't really get any serious injuries, I'm assuming, other than your ear. You were saying your ears kind of popped a little bit. Do you
Bro,
think? Yeah,
look
that
at
looked.
this. So
Wow.
I never had uh, problems with my ear training jiu-jitsu all these years. 1 week before the fight, I had this little thing over here swollen, and I was like, "Fuck." Probably after the fight, this gonna be very bad because he gonna punch me, and he didn't land a punch. I mean, not here.
Right.
He landed one good punch in the end of the first round when I kick, and he timed with a straight cross, but it wasn't like super hard, but it was on my chin. It wasn't on my ear. Anyways, I went to train today. We were drilling, doing jujitsu things, and jujitsu, you always like touching the guy trying to choke you. And yeah, now got worse. I'm very sad because I thought I would have a good year for the rest of my career, but I think maybe I'm gonna be like all the fighters.
Some guys like it. Like I don't know if you've seen like I think it was Bo Nickel said he was like at 7 years old I wanted to get cauliflower ear because it like it's like the mark of a fighter.
Okay, I respect that, but I think it's very ugly, and I don't want to have cauliflower ear. I
Yeah.
rather just have a normal ear. I rather go to the streets and people don't realize that I'm a fighter. Um, so that's it. Here's a story. I was driving and the police pulled me over, and he, because I don't remember what was the problem, but he says, "Hey, what are you doing? So what do you do?" And I said, "I'm a fighter. Let me see your ears." And I show, and you lying. No, I'm a fighter. But I like that. I don't want everybody to see me as a fighter, because when I step in the cage, everybody gonna be surprised. So I like that.
Nice. I'm sure your wife likes it too when you have a regular ear rather than the
Yeah,
big
yeah.
puffy
She
cauliflower ear.
does.
So I
It,
was I was on an Uber ride earlier today, and the guy asked me about the UFC. He said he likes it, and I brought you up. He said he watched your fight. He told me to
oh,
ask you. He told me to ask you a question. He gave me a good question to ask you. So when you first got to the Ultimate Fighter, were there any fighters that you saw that kind of like you didn't really want to fight? Like wasn't really kind of freaked you out a little bit? Like I want to stay away from that guy. I'd rather fight these guys.
yes, Edwin Cooper Jr. When I saw him, I was like, please, this guy have to be on my team and lose the first fight. That was the thing that I was thinking. Because so there's this guy in Brazil. We fought Muay Thai. He beat me, and this guy that beat me in Muay Thai, I'm very good in striking. So this guy beat me in striking, but he's better at jiu-jitsu. And Edwin Cooper Jr. like just took him down and smashed him on the ground and TKO'd him. So I was like, fuck, this guy is here. I don't want to fight him at all. And we ended up fighting the first fight, and I just like when I knew that we were gonna fight, I just started training like a crazy. I always train super hard, but I was training a lot, comparing to the amount of time that we had to train, because it was very short. It was less than 2 weeks to prepare, and cutting weight and everything. But yeah, Edwin Cooper Jr., I didn't want to fight him because I knew he was a very strong wrestler, but I got the job done.
It's interesting to see like other fighters who are really good that don't end up winning. Like Robert Valentin unfortunately lost. Edwin Cooper Jr. lost. You see these guys getting into the UFC in the future. Like it's interesting that like people go through the contender series, but a lot of people are fans of these other fighters on the Ultimate Fighter that don't win that want to see them in the UFC. Do you think like Edwin Cooper or Robert will get into the UFC?
Yes, I think Khan will get to the UFC. I think Cooper, too. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe people will watch the fight and learn how to beat him. I think if I had more time to prepare, I wouldn't I wouldn't have the, the trouble that I had in the first round, because I'll be more prepared. So I think Cooper can go to the UFC, but I think Khan and Roberts have more chance to go to the UFC and have success in the UFC. Yeah, that's what I think. And also Cooper, I don't know right now where his mind at because he drinks a lot. He he's a very good fighter, but he doesn't have focus from what I saw from him. I don't know if he changed or something like that, but yeah, I think Offley and Robert can go to the UFC and be successful.
Winning the Ultimate Fighter is it's a big deal. You get the bonus contract, you get the 6 fight contract, but you also join a pretty big list of names that have won it in the past. You know, Michael Bisping, Tony Ferguson, Nate Diaz, Usman, Juliana Pena, like legends. How does it make you feel that now your name, Mairon Santos, is right next to those guys?
It's a blessing. It's great, and just like these guys, I want to have a belt too one day, and we have like more champions. Uh, so it's really good to know that every all the sacrifice that I've made uh, brought me to this moment, and I can be in the list with these legends, like you said. So it's pretty satisfying to me.
That's great. And you know, Brazil has had a great past couple years with Charles Oliveira, Alex Pereira. Now these fighting nerds are all on the rise, and now the Ultimate Fighter is Brazilian. How does it make you feel that, like I asked you before when we first talked, like you're representing Brazil, but now you've won it for Brazil? You know, it's kind of like another level. Obviously, your country is a big deal in the MMA world, and now you are the Ultimate Fighter from Brazil. Does that make you feel special that it was you that did that?
Yes, when I think about like it was the most international the Ultimate Fighter ever. 16 fighters, 14 different countries, and Brazil is on the top. Brazil like won everything in my weight class, 8 fighters, and just one guy won, and that this guy's from Brazil. So I feel like I don't have words to describe it because it's a very good thing for me. Know that I could represent Brazil in on tough, and right now the- we have Brazilian champions, but Brazil right now is going back to people in Brazil are going back to watch MMA now because of Pantoja, Poitin, Charles. But before Brazil was like people weren't watching UFC that much anymore after Anderson lost and retired. So right now with the fighting nerds and th- people like Brazil is on the rise. So it's good to be part of this moment for Brazil.
Do you think you'll ever train with the fighting nerds, or how far are you from Sao Paulo? Like, do you ever think about that?
I want to go there one day. When they come here, I'm I always talk with them like me and Kyle, we fought the same card, and we were always cutting weight together, going to the sauna together, and he was always good at giving me good words like, "Hey man, we got this, let's go." Also, Jean Silva, I already trained with him, super nice guy. He's always checking on me and asking if I need something. Uh, my wife was there at the Apex when I fought, and Jean like, "Hey, sit here. This is my spot, but sit here because it's closer to the octagon." So I have a good relationship with guys from Fighting Nerds, and one day when I go to Brazil, I'll definitely go there to visit.
After your fight, after you won everything, you gained 7,000 followers on Instagram. How
Oh,
does that? I
nice.
mean, the growth is there. You know, the becoming a star is there. It's exciting for you. Do you think that you kind of have to keep going like on the mic to keep growing like that, or do you think your performances will do it for you?
I think both. I know today media, it's a very important thing. So I want to be always like present in these moments. Always like be talking with the fans. you see I'm always on Twitter saying something. So yeah, yeah, I think both are super important.
Well, Maiden, you're talking with a fan right now. It was great to watch you play, to watch you fight, and what a great win! Second round KO, a great KO to come in your biggest fight of your life. I mean, that's just how the Ultimate Fighter does it. You know, you win the big fight in a big way. So congratulations again. Thank you so much for coming back. And next time when you have a belt around your waist, we'll talk again.
Yeah, no. Before that, after all, after my fights, we can always talk. Before my fights, I'll be always here. Yeah. Thanks for the support. You always good give me good energy. So thanks for that, man.
Awesome. I'm glad I do. I don't want to get annoying. I feel like I
No,
might get
no, no,
annoyed. But you got a big fan in me for sure. I cannot wait for your next fight, Maiden.
bro. Thank you very much.